Gridlock 5 minutes or less, aka how to get good at down with the thickness. So literally like minutes ago, I recorded that grim 5-minute guide about how he has long-range barbed wire, and that's a bad thing. Grid has long-range barbed wire, but it's a good thing. The way Grid works is you have your thing, you just kind of throw it, and it makes the whole thing of spikes. The great thing about this is that someone, you know, has to walk through this, because it covers a big-ass fucking area. Like, how far is that radius? About 5 meters, so same as Grim, weirdly enough. I think Grim might be smaller than 5 meters, actually. Anyway, you put the fucking spikes down where someone has to cross. It covers the whole hallway. It doesn't go away. This stays. It doesn't matter how long it's been. The enemy has 2 options. There are technically 3 options. Either they walk through and make a sound cue and take damage and walk real slow, at which point you can just kind of listen for the and then, you know, kill them while they're in there because they can't really move in the spikes. Option B is the enemy can just make a path, which is loud as fuck, and again, you hear the shooting, you can just, because the enemy's looking, you know, the enemy's looking down, and if you peek, it's gonna be really hard for them to kind of, you know, flick up and win that duel in time. Third thing the enemy can do is, don't. They can just leave. So, the spikes will make it a nightmare for anyone to push aggressively. What's great about them, where they really fucking shine, is when you're going for the execute. Because literally what you can do is, you can, you know, let's say we want to plant right here, you can have your grid just kind of spikes for an added bonus, smoke, and then just go for the plant. Because now, the enemy has to either shoot through all that barbed and, you know, or take damage, or just give it to you. And by the time they even make a decision and figure out what's going on, you've planted. So, you know, now it's kind of fucked all the way through here. And depending on how you have it laid out, you can literally just listen for the barb. Like, you can literally just listen for, and, you know, just shut them down when they're going for it. Grid is fucking phenomenal if you are playing for the diffuser. If you're playing for kills, not so much. He still has a really good LMG, even after the LMG nerfs. But, she really fucking shines when you're using these spikes in the execution. That is where Grid's going to be fucking phenomenal. Also, if you're playing Grid, this has nothing to do with her gadget. If you're gonna play Grid, don't play entry frag. Do not die first. Try to die last, because you have the most, like, you know, post-plant, execute utility, honestly, in the game, I would argue. Like, Nomad is mildly better, but Grid has quantifiably the most. And, yeah, that's Grid 5 minutes or less. Play for the execute, don't die first, and, make life a fucking nightmare for the enemy. Oh, yeah, and don't try to throw them too early. Try to save them for the execute. And, yeah, peace.